The most expensive ticket to a Star Wars trailer in cinema history cost $90 million to produce. In November 1998, audiences packed theaters not to witness Martin Brest's 3-hour meditation on mortality. They wanted that first glimpse of the Phantom Menace. They bought tickets to meet Joe Black, watched the preview, then promptly walked out, leaving behind one of Hollywood's most fascinating contradictions slowly unfolding on empty screens. This mass exodus reveals something crucial that traditional criticism misses entirely. Meet Joe Black wasn't just a commercial failure. It was a spiritual experience that audiences literally rejected before giving it a chance. Yet 25 years later, that same movie has cultivated a devoted following. These fans view its deliberate pacing not as punishment, but as permission. Permission to sit with difficult emotions about death and love. Permission to reject the usual commercial shortcuts. The evidence of this split personality runs deep. Anthony Hopkins delivers what many consider among his finest performances. He creates a media mogul who transcends typical rich man archetypes. His Bill Parrish uses his final days not for self-pity. Instead, he guides both death and his family toward understanding. When he negotiates with the supernatural entity inhabiting his daughter's lover, Hopkins grounds the fantastical premise in genuine human stakes. Thomas Newman's score provides what one analysis called warm, lightly inviting haunting. It builds intimacy through minimal piano work. It supports rather than manipulate the movie's emotional moments. But then there's Brad Pitt getting struck by not one, but 2 vehicles in rapid succession. A scene so unintentionally comedic, it achieved viral meme status decades later. There's a corporate subplot involving boardroom machinations. It seems lifted from a different, more conventional thriller entirely. These aren't minor flaws in an otherwise solid picture. They're structural cracks that run through the foundation of Brest's vision. They create something that simultaneously achieves profound emotional resonance and commits egregious cinematic sins. The numbers reveal the scope of this paradox. Against its $90 million budget, the movie earned only $44.6 million domestically. International sales brought the worldwide total to $142.9 million. The opening weekend was artificially inflated by those Star Wars fans. This created a 2.97 multiplier that indicates weak audience response once word of mouth spread. These metrics don't lie. This was a picture that failed to build the positive buzz necessary for commercial success. Yet the defenders aren't delusional romantics. They recognize something genuinely valuable in Brest's unhurried approach to exploring mortality. The coffee shop sequence between Susan and the young man before his death stands as masterful romantic filmmaking. Claire Forlani and pre-death Brad Pitt create authentic chemistry. Their brief connection feels genuinely tragic when fate intervenes. The birthday party finale stretches nearly an hour. Despite this, it achieves moments of transcendent beauty when Hopkins delivers his final speech and dances with his daughter. The tension emerges from recognizing that both perspectives contain truth. Meet Joe Black genuinely explores profound themes about what we owe each other in the face of death, about how love transforms both mortal and immortal beings, about finding meaning in our limited time. But it does so through a structure that tests even sympathetic viewers' patience. Scenes consistently run longer than necessary. Tonal shifts undermine dramatic momentum. Martin Brest's authorial intent centered on something ambitious. He envisioned deeply spiritual meditation within the Hollywood system, European art cinema sensibilities applied to mainstream American storytelling. Universal Pictures was desperate for prestige content. They were drunk on the success of Brest's Sentable Woman. They granted him final cut privileges. The result was a production that went months over schedule and $30 million over budget. The studio was forced to delay their sole summer tentpole to November. They were left without major content during the crucial summer season. This industrial context illuminates the essential contradiction. Brest's vision required resources only a major studio could provide. The elaborate sets, the A-list casting, the extended production schedule necessary for his contemplative approach. But those same resources came with commercial expectations. His artistic goals fundamentally rejected them. The picture needed to be both intimate character study and crowd-pleasing entertainment, both meditative spiritual journey and efficient narrative machine. Meet Joe Black succeeds as the former while failing as the latter. It creates what we might call a beautiful indulgence. Its genuine spiritual ambitions collided catastrophically with Hollywood excess. The movie contains moments of startling insight about mortality and human connection. Hopkins' masterful performance anchors it. Newman's evocative score elevates it. It also contains scenes that feel like self-indulgent homework assignments, extended not because the story requires it, but because the filmmaker can afford to. The car accident sequence encapsulates this duality perfectly. What should be a tragic moment of mortality becomes unintentional comedy through excess. The instant when death selects his vessel. One vehicle striking Pitt would convey the necessary plot information while maintaining dramatic gravity. Two vehicles in rapid succession transforms tragedy into farce. It highlights the movie's consistent inability to trust its own instincts. This pattern repeats throughout. Genuine emotional intelligence undermined by structural problems. Spiritual depth compromised by surface absurdities. Artistic ambition sabotaged by lack of discipline. The story asks us to contemplate death's meaning while making us acutely aware of time's passage through its punishing runtime. Perhaps that's the point, though, unintentionally. Meet Joe Black forces viewers to experience something approaching mortality themselves. The sensation of time stretching, of patience tested, of commitment challenged by diminishing returns. In a culture obsessed with efficiency and instant gratification, Brest created something that demands endurance. It refuses to respect our time in the way conventional entertainment does. The cult following suggests this approach resonates with some audiences who crave permission to slow down, to sit with difficult emotions, to reject the accelerated pace of modern storytelling. They find beauty in Brest's indulgence. They find meaning in his excess. But the broader critical consensus reminds us that good intentions cannot substitute for disciplined storytelling, that spiritual ambitions require artistic execution to achieve their full impact. Meet Joe Black ultimately stands as testament to both the possibilities and perils of granting filmmakers complete creative control. It's a noble failure that contains genuine transcendence alongside frustrating self-indulgence. A piece that succeeds as spiritual experience while failing as coherent cinema. The movie's enduring cult status proves that for some audiences, its meditative approach to mortality justifies its considerable flaws. Its critical reputation ensures we remember something crucial. Even the most sincere artistic visions require the discipline to match their ambitions. In the end, Meet Joe Black gives us something more valuable than simple success or failure. It provides a perfect case study in the tensions between artistic vision and commercial reality, between spiritual ambition and structural necessity. It's both deeply moving and frustratingly interminable. Exactly the kind of beautiful contradiction that makes cinema endlessly fascinating.